Yo guys, what is up? This is Dumbass Danny here, and today I've got requested to do a top 5 FPS games in history. And so here we go. We're gonna start the list out with some honorable mentions. And I'm gonna go with the Counter-Strike series just because, it's a very good series, but it wasn't really like a game, it kinda was like additions, kinda like a mod added into Half-Life. So it didn't really start out as a game, but it's a game now, and people love it. And it's got like 400 something thousand playing right now on PC. Sadly, not on console. So yeah. All right, now let's get into number 5. All right, so before I do number 5, I forgot to tell you that this gameplay was provided by a guy named Corny. So go check him out. He gave out 2 videos that you can use. He doesn't really care, just to mention him in the video, like I'm doing. Alright, so go check him out and maybe give him a subscribe if you like him. And I'll be back with number 5. So at number 5, we have GoldenEye 007, which nowadays might not be the best looking game, but back then it was very fine. Multiplayer was the big thing back then for this game. I mean, you could have 4 people. Oh my gosh. Nowadays that seems like nothing since there's millions of people online. Back then they didn't have online, so you could only play with 3 other friends. You had to come over, sit down, and all be around one television and play all on one television. So 4 little screens, in one place isn't the best, but still. It had a variety of modes, a large cast of characters, and plenty of maps to use. It was the only first-person shooter in the late 90s, and the game sold 8.09 million copies. Alright, so now let's go on to number 4. Alright, so at number 4, we have the Halo series, and I'm sure everyone knows what this game is, and I'm sure everyone will basically know all the other games, so I'm not worried at all about that. But, Halo is exclusive to Xbox, so, it's not very much selling as much as the other games. But Halo has sold over 56 million copies within its years, with an average of 8.09 million per game. So, I think the best Halo game, though, for me was Halo 3, and it did sell the most, which, shows that most people liked it. And, it's very futuristic and, has to deal with aliens. And it was made by Bungie, but then they, left or something? I don't know. And then 343 came and took it over. But, yep, that's number 4 with Halo. Now, let's go to number 3. For number 3, I have selected the Battlefield series. And I think many of you might wonder why this is not number 2, but there's a much older game for number 2 that you guys probably will realize when I tell you. So the Battlefield series has had 11 installments so far, and it's still going strong. Its competitor, Call of Duty, is destroying it though. But still, Battlefield is a good game, and I actually like it. The games are major moneymakers for Electronic Arts, and they have, EA has, awful servers and stuff. So, yeah, but the recent installments of the Battlefield series has sold over 36 million copies, but that's just the recent ones. The older ones have sold a lot too, with an average of 12.07 million per game. So yeah, and the most sold one was Battlefield 3, which is 17.05, and honestly that was the best one as well. So we're seeing a trend here where the best games gets the most sold, so probably because friends buy the game and then they tell their friends, go buy this game. So yeah, and actually Battlefield Hardline, the new one, it hasn't really sold as well as Battlefield 4, which is surprising, but it actually was pushed back a year. It was supposed to come out a year earlier, and it was pushed back a year. So that's a little interesting, but the Battlefield series still is a wonderful series, and I actually enjoy Battlefield and Call of Duty. Some people, the big Battlefield people, do not like that, and they will cry and bitch about it, but, sorry for my swearing. But don't, just blah them. We don't need them. We can just ignore them. Play whatever games we want since we are, gamers. We do whatever we want. And let's go on to number 2. Alright, so for number 2, we have Duck Hunt. And this is a very old game. It was actually played on the Nintendo Entertainment System when it came, at the beginning. It came in the same cartridge as Super Mario Bros., which was just as popular, but to play the game, you used a light gun that, wasn't actually the controller. You actually have to buy something else, and you had to shoot at moving targets that were ducks. And there's the classic dog in the game where, he picks up the ducks. But, it's very, very addicting. It's kind of like the Flappy Bird of their era. It was very, very addicting. I've seen many people play it, and they just go non-stop. Some people are really good at it, and some people just suck ass at it, and it's awful. But, I played a little bit of this game, and I was like 7 or something, and, I was 7, so I didn't know what I was doing, so. But now, if I play this game, I think I'd probably enjoy it, and it sold 28.31 million units, which is a lot of units for just one game. So now we're going to move on to number 1. Number 1, and probably you guys all have guessed it by that time, it is the Call of Duty series, which is the most well-known and popular first-person shooter. It has sold over 191 million units. That blows all of the competition completely, just completely. And it sells an average of 23.87 million units per game. And the most sold ones were actually Black Ops and Modern Warfare 3. But, that's when the game was at its peak. That's when it was popular. And now Advanced Warfare is, sold less than the original Modern Warfare, which is a little bit sad. But, still, it might go back up. It might go down. Battlefield's starting to come up against Call of Duty. I mean, back then it was all Call of Duty. Now it's Battlefield's coming. But, Black Ops and Modern Warfare 3 both topped the sales of Duck Hunt. But no other games have. Black Ops 2 was close, but it didn't. I'm surprised Ghost is even up there. I don't know why anyone even, thought about it. The campaigns in this game are very, Michael Bay-ish, explosions, all that stuff. And the multiplayer, I don't even need to talk to you guys about it. It's fine. It's fantastic. I mean, there's people on there that can be annoying, but, you find that in any game. So that is my top 5 list of the best FPS games / series of all time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to this for more awesome content. If you would like to suggest the top 5 for me, go ahead and put that in the comment section, and I will definitely, do a top 5 about that. This video was actually from a comment from one of my subscribers, and he asked me to do this, so I did it for him, and, there you go, buddy, you got your video. But to all those who haven't really watched my channel, some are new, some aren't, this is how it works, my channel works, and, this is how it will always work. Alright, so, see you guys later. Peace!